Hey, morning, folks. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's doing all right. Really quick one. Not much on the docket, really. So we did have the ECB coming out being hawkish, as I mentioned last week, breaking through this resistance trend line over here. This is the Euro daily chart happening as well at the same time because Dixie is pulling back. We have the US CPI report tomorrow. Um, I'm not going to go into this again because I've mentioned it a couple of times now. Go back to the prior briefings if you are so inclined. Basically, this level over here, and in line with the support trend line, much longer term. So we go back all the way to the February of this year, um, potentially to be tested, all in good time, I feel. So going to tomorrow, US CPI, how do you read that? Basically, a decent CPI report. If inflation is still high, then the recent hawkishness that the Fed and how the market's been pricing in what the Fed is going to do. We had Jackson Hole a couple of weeks back reiterating their position on bringing inflation back to prior target of 2%. And it is not at 2%. It is way further than 2% at this point. So that goes to show. At the same time, we do have crude just pulling back here with the fears of a global slowdown happening. There were reports that China. Oh, I should really put this in the report actually. So that China might be posting slowing energy demand for the first time in 2 years. So very interesting stuff. We do have. So all eyes will be on the CPI tomorrow. We get that. That then tells you where traders might then potentially be pricing in the dollar if inflation is super high, beats expectations. Oh, I definitely think this dollar will just like continue to grind on, pull back maybe 110s, break through again, and then just push through really with just gusto. Gold is taking a bit of a slowdown, but very clean technicals. That's what I like about this. Look at that. Just brilliant technicals over here. So 1, 2, 3, that is a legitimate resistance trend line. And there's floor over here at 1700s. Beautiful stuff. So this breaks, retests, close below on the day if it does, or if for me to get long gold, to be honest with you, like the inflation story needs to persist, and at the same time, we are not going to be afraid of the Fed going gung ho or just cutting rates the next time. So as inflation story persists, and we might get this safe haven flow, but it could just be for a very brief moment in time. I mean, in terms of real yields, we're seeing bonds just not really doing that well, to be honest. So that is it from me today. Any questions at all, just hit me in the Discord room. I know there's a couple of things, but I will be mentioning a bit more on the CPI tomorrow, just to clarify things. So that will be tomorrow. Today we do have Schnabel. I mean, a couple of ECB speakers. Nothing too worrisome, nothing too big. In my mind, a lot of today's action will be about pullbacks from recent price action. Do bear in mind though, with the dollar pulling back, even the pressure in crude might not be able to sustain on the downside. You need a lot of volume to do that, and then so at the same time, just be mindful of that, in terms of pullback. The Dixie turning back, you might see this then, not transmute, more like spill over into other assets that are very dollar dominated. Equities, for instance. All right, I'll catch you guys in the Discord room. Have a great session ahead and a week ahead. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.